camera or look at me or camera is better. And I'll ask you a question. Take a deep breath and then answer. So that my questions will not be in the video basically.
Okay.
It's not gonna overlap with your answer. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So first, could you state your name and your job description? And then I'll ask you.
Okay. Okay. Now?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Jonny Li, and I'm the organizer of Startup Weekend in Japan right now.
Alright, the first question. Okay, I know what are your reasons to attend this event, so I'm gonna cut that.
Okay.
What are your expectations to this event from your stand?
What I hope this event will achieve is for the attendees to basically find really good nakamas to work with. Basically, being a part of a startup or growing a startup means that you should be a part of a team that can help you build something interesting. We also want this place to be a very good practice place for them to build a startup. Very often, most people don't know how to build one. And in Japan in particular, it's very, very risky to mess up. So this is a place for them to train, and hopefully when they're ready, they can really turn this into a real project and a real company.
The second question. Okay, could you tell us about your current working style and your ideal working style?
Can you give me an example?
Okay, so like for example, full-time employee or co-working, or do you work at home, or 9 to 5?
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Right now, I'm mostly working at home. I spend a lot of time going to different clients' meetings and pitches, and that's okay. But I actually prefer working with other people. Working by yourself is just no fun. So I guess I don't really want to work for a big company. So I like maybe a small environment with a couple of very close people that I trust and want to work with. And I think the best part of a work environment like this would be, well, most importantly, people work hard, but at the same time have fun doing it.
Okay, when you have like your ideas of like how to work, right? Like maybe like you might have like this ideal also like the ideal world and the reality, I guess. Like what would be the like the biggest hurdle for like maybe for you and for other people to achieve the ideal working like style?
So right now I think, well, I'm based in Japan. So the working style, I guess, is more Japan style centric. I think right now the way I see working culture in Japan is we work for the sake of working, not necessarily working for kekka. And the thing that I want to achieve is basically kekka-driven business. It doesn't matter where you work as long as you do the work and you do it well. And if you're finished, go home. But the biggest challenge, I guess, for that is for a boss to figure out how someone is really working and not wasting time. Nobody wants to hire someone who's lazy, so that's a very difficult challenge there.
So in order to work in the way people want to work, what kind of changes are required in terms of personal level, social level, and technological level?
Personal level. A personal level as a boss, or a personal level as a...
It can be anyone, like personally, what can you do to achieve what you want, how you want to work?
Okay. Personally, I think the biggest challenge is you have to change something very, very fundamental. The old style of working means that you work in a schedule. It's going to be 9 to 5. If you want to be flexible, you're going to have to be more brave and work when it's necessary and when it's convenient. Unfortunately, when you have no structure, it's very, very easy to overwork at the same time. Professionally, I think it's easy as an individual to start doing that, but you need a lot of trust from the people who is more senior and giving you orders. And technologically, I think right now we're in a very interesting place where it doesn't really matter where your office is. It doesn't have to be in some office building inside Tokyo. As long as you have a computer, Wi-Fi, we're at the stage where we can work anywhere. But again, it's a trust issue.
I see. Do you think society or how society look at kind of people with free spirit? Do you think that should change, or right now I think a lot of Japanese people working in this in a box kind of you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to come to work at 9 and leave at maybe 11 at night, But I mean, should society change? Or how can we change the society in that sense?
Okay, I don't want to bring up the war, but the war is a very, very good example. The current system in Japan is that everything is by the book. There is a manual and you have to do it in this way. There is a procedure. The way I think the war changed everything was that when Japan was in restoration mode, you were building something from scratch again. At that time, it's the equivalent to startup mode, where there is no right way to do something, and they're creating the rules as they came along. But what happens is, over time, these people want to create a system that is foolproof. You don't want to mess up. And so that's why these books and procedures became stronger and bigger and more complicated. That's my image anyway. So the way I see it is, for society to change, we have to be open to, again, it's another trust issue. I think there are a lot of people who know how to do their job in a more efficient way. The bosses just need to let them work the way that's most efficient for them and trust that they can do that in the most efficient way and not mess up.
All right. Do you have any role model?
Role model? Yes, I do. My biggest role model is a gentleman by the name of Timothy Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek. He's an insane guy. And although his style is a little bit unusual, I really like the way he thinks. He's very, very Kekka driven. Some people say he's lazy. I don't really think he's lazy. He creates more free time for himself, so he can do what's more important in his life.
Okay, if you have a chance to direct these questions that I asked just now to someone, who would you choose?
I guess the same, my idol, perhaps, Tim Ferriss. I mean, I really respect what he has to say. I like his thought process, so it will be very interesting to see how he would like to change it as well.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, okay.
Arigatou.
You're welcome.